Okay, greetings everyone and welcome back for part 2 of our Intro to Freshman Composition video series. This is about where we left off, and the first thing I want to talk about is the 7-minute writing. For the most part, not all the time, but most of the time the 7-minute writing discussion boards are private. This one is certainly set to private. Whatever you write on this discussion board, only you can see and I can see. So no one else in the class will have access to the private board. And the reason that's nice is because in your letter to me, this really allows you to open up and talk to me and tell me kind of what things have been like. So if you look at the prompt here, you're going to be talking about your past writing instruction, how you choose to write for yourself now, and any hopes for the class. The biggest part of this discussion board post is down here at the bottom where it says ask any questions that you have. I really want you to take this to heart and really talk to me here. This should be the biggest part of your 7-minute writing where you get to tell me anything pertinent that might be good information for me to know either is there anything specific that you're worried about? Is there anything that might get in the way of your learning this semester? What are you concerned about? What are you scared about? What are you excited about? So it's just your chance to personalize this writing a little bit so that I really get to know you in this letter. So you're going to go ahead and complete this private 7-minute writing introduction letter. That is again in our week 1 on D2L. It'll prompt you to do that in one of the folders, but this is what you're going to do when you get there. Okay, next is, it's time to get out some paper. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead at this point, but I want you to get out some paper and I want you to jot some notes, and you're not allowed to use your phone or your computer, just your memory. So at this point, I want to know, where were you on Monday, July 15th from 2 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon? Now, again, don't use your phone. You can't cheat in any way. From your memory, can you say where you were? Now, this date is exactly 6 weeks ago. So how good is your memory? What were you doing 6 weeks ago, July 15th from 2 to 3 o'clock? So pause the video at this point and jot down everything you can remember about that day, and specifically the hours between 2 and 3 o'clock. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you wrote everything down. Now you can use your phone, look at your calendar, look at whatever social media app you might have that might help you, and fill in the gaps in your memory. Pause the video here and fill in those gaps. Okay. I want you to post these notes on your serial discussion board, and then you're going to add to that post after you listen to the first episode, or know that you just kind of scoot these notes aside, and when you actually do your serial 1 discussion board post, include this first. I want to know how you did. How did you do with your memory? Where were you 6 weeks ago? How did you do just from memory? How did you do once you filled in the gaps with your phone? If it helped at all, maybe it didn't. But just make sure you respond using these notes that you just recorded when you do your serial episode 1 discussion board. Okay, because the reason this was important is this gets to episode 1 of Serial. And as I told you in the first video, Serial is our text for this semester. We're going to listen to all 12 episodes. It is like our book for the class. It is the springboard to which we will do all of our other writing. So you're going to start with episode 1. Now, if you go into the PowerPoint, there is a link in the PowerPoint, or if you look at just week 1, you'll see that the links for all the episodes are there. Just go to Serial episode 1, click on the link, and go ahead and listen to episode 1 of season 1 of Serial. So again, you can either pause the video at this point and go do that, or you can just listen to the rest of the video and then know that you have to do that when you go back. Okay. Now, at this point, this is the rest of the questions that will go on the discussion board. So I want you just to think about your first thoughts, your reactions, things you might have been guilty of as a teenager. Try to connect these experiences to Adnan. What did he do to become a suspect in Hae-Min Lee's murder? So think about all of those ideas and put your thoughts on the discussion board. Don't forget to add the part about memory. And then think about your thoughts, your reactions, and any text-to-text connections. Have you read any other text that kind of reminds you of that you were thinking of when you're listening to Serial episode 1? So which ones and how do they connect? So this is your discussion board post. Again, it'll prompt you in the Serial folder to after you listen to the episode to go ahead and do the discussion board. And again, all of these directions are also dual listed in the discussion board post, so you won't have to look back at the PowerPoint. Okay, so I want to talk about the other assignments for week 1. So these are your jobs. So first thing you're going to do is listen to episode 1 of Serial. Hopefully, maybe you paused the video and you already did that. If not, that's what you should do first. Post to the Serial discussion board. Remember, every single discussion board will act like this all semester. Initial posts are always due Wednesday by 11:30 p.m. Then you are required to reply to at least 3 of your classmates. That is always due on Friday at 11:30 p.m. Don't forget, Fridays are cutoff date. The class runs Friday to Friday, and so you want to make sure that you post by 11:30 because everything will close. Assignment folders close, discussion boards close, everything closes Fridays at 11:30 at night. You have to get your work done by then. I do not accept late work. You need to work ahead and on time. So don't forget, initial posts due Wednesday at 11:30 and at least 3 replies due Friday at 11:30. Again, every single discussion board runs the same. Next, I talked about your 7-minute writing, which is your intro letter to Jan. We talked about that a little bit. That's your chance to introduce yourself to me, so make sure that you do that. We talked a little bit about this. You're going to sign up for VoiceThread and watch the tutorial videos. If you remember on the screen, I showed you, I screenshotted those scenes, but they're also linked in D2L. Next, complete your introduction post to the discussion board. Now, this is different than the letter to Jan. The letter to Jan is just to me. I'm the only one. That's that private discussion board. Here, your introduction post on the group discussion board, everyone will read. So make sure you do that. Your initial post is due by Wednesday, and you're going to reply to everyone. This is the only time you have to reply to everyone. It is important that you meet everybody. So read their post and reply to them, and that is by Friday. So I would suggest working ahead, checking daily to see who's posted and replying as you go. I know in other semesters this has been a beautiful thing. Students have really gotten involved and really talked to each other on this, which is so great because the sooner we can create some kind of online community, the better off we'll be all semester, because you will be working in partners and in small groups at times, and so it's good to get to know your peers. So this intro board is a public board, and that's for everyone. I will also post, and I will also read and reply to everyone. You're going to add a picture to D2L. These instructions to do that are in the discussion board. It tells you exactly how to add a picture. We want to see your pretty face, so please make sure you add a picture. It's much better to get to know people by face. I'm a visual person. I need to see you. There's a 7-minute writing on coming of age that you'll complete. There's a 6 traits of writing VoiceThread. That's why you need to sign up for VoiceThread first. So make sure you sign up, and then you can click on My VoiceThread, and that way you'll be able to participate. VoiceThread is an interactive program where I take PowerPoint and I upload it into the program and I talk over the slides, but I also ask you to do things. So you have to reply. So it's important that you watch those tutorials if you need to. It's pretty self-explanatory, so I don't think you'll have too many problems with it, but if you do, just ask me. But you're going to watch your first VoiceThread on the 6 traits of writing, and it goes with an essay called A Sin that you're going to want to annotate for the 6 traits, but that will make more sense once you complete that work. And then there is a blog post by Zakaya called Good Muslims Do Bad Things Too. You're going to read the blog post, and then there's an informal writing that you'll complete that's due Friday at 11:30. So those are your assignments. That's a quick rundown, but don't forget you want to be using your, let me back up here so you can see it again. The course schedule goes over all of this also, so you can see all of it and know that these boxes correspond with D2L. So all of these assignments that I just talked about on that last slide correspond directly with D2L. So you can see under week 1, so here I am on the table of contents, you can see where it is. Week 1 is right here, and you can see Introduction to Online Freshman Comp. That's where you found this video, this syllabus, things like that. And then you've got Serial Episode 1. That's the link to the serial episode as well as the discussion board, your 7-minute writing. You know, actually, I'm just going to go to D2L. Instead of showing you these things, I'm going to show them to you on D2L. So remember, from our home page, you're going to go to Content. And then you're going to go to week 1. So here again, I'm in week 1, and let me view as a student so that this doesn't get confusing for you, so that we have the same view. So again, from the student view, go to content. And then again, you're going to see I'm under week 1. So if you look on the table of contents, you can see week 1 is down here. Okay. First is the Introduction to Freshman Comp. So these correspond. So Introduction to Freshman Comp is the same thing here. You'll notice there's the video for part 1. I'm going to put this video right underneath it, the syllabus, right? Look at all that. Here's the introduction board for the entire class. Know that when you click on that, here's the directions for that discussion board. And know it also tells you how to reply and how to do it, and it tells you what to write. Here's the directions for adding a picture, so just make sure you read the directions, and then you can go ahead and start your post. Okay. Then, again, don't forget there's serial. Here is your link to the podcast, and here's your link to the discussion board. Here's everything that you want to talk about in your discussion board post. So don't forget the directions are right there. You don't have to remember them from the PowerPoint. Your 7-minute writings, remember you have 2. Here's your letter to Jan. These are your private boards and your coming of age. Okay, 7-minute writing. Then you've got your VoiceThread sign up. I've given you links to VoiceThread as well as the tutorial videos. I logged out of my account just so you could see when you click on the link. Again, this is just the same screenshot that was in the PowerPoint. Make sure you fill this information out, use your Normandale email, click register, and then when you go back, you can also watch the tutorial videos if you want more information, because then you're going to do the 6 traits, which is a VoiceThread. You can tell because it's a link. And then here's the essay I'm going to talk about in the VoiceThread, the first week readings. Here's where you have, again, it's dual listed. You have a sin again and the blog post by Zakaya, Good Muslims Do Bad Things Too. And then there's your informal writing. There again, you can see it's due Friday at 11:30. And that is what you are working on. Those are the directions. So as you can see, if you just follow the folders in D2L, you will complete everything. Everything is there. It's all linked. All you have to do is go straight down. So when you're in week 1, you just have to go in the folders. I put them in the order that makes sense to me. So just get everything done. Make sure you click on everything. It'll also chart your progress. You'll start at 0, and then it'll chart your progress so that you know you're getting everything done. All right, I think that I'm done with my introduction. If you have any questions about anything, please make sure you ask. I'm super excited for our semester. We're going to work hard. We're going to have fun. And I just want to make sure if you have any questions that you ask them. Again, that's the best way to succeed in anything. Make sure you ask if you need help. I'm here to help you. We're going to have a great time. I love the podcast. I love the content in this course, and I know we're going to have a great semester. So please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you online, and have a great week.